The other thing in the manifesto that I think is worth looking at in terms of determining his motive is he had been staying at the hotel since Friday. He checked in, he said he had cased the place, and he wrote, "What the hell is the Secret Service doing?" And he wrote this quote, "I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got is nothing." He wrote, like, this level of incompetence is insane. Sir, you have already had two
Well, he was
attempted
pretty incompetent too because he got caught.
What's going on, guys? So we have got to talk about this White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting because, as usual, it is stranger than fiction. So I put out a short video like an hour after this happened, after the news dropped. And one of the first comments that I received was, "Let me guess, you think that this was staged?" And I want to address that point first because I'm not saying that it's staged. What I will say is that Trump is unique in that this happens literally all the time with him. He's either getting shot at or he's in the presence of some shooter. So that part is weird. So the shooter, he's been identified. His name is Cole Thomas Allen, I think is what his name is. Yeah, Cole Thomas Allen. He's 31. He's from California. He's like some mechanical engineer type. And, another thing that came out is that, like, he donated $25 to Act Blue for Kamala Harris's campaign. Ooh, it's like the first time a liberal's actually been involved in an assassination attempt. Every single one of the other people have been Trump supporters. They've been Republicans. Anyway, I digress. But to get to the point of, people saying, like, "Let me guess, you think this is staged," that in and of itself does not make you a crazy person. And I'm going to tell you why. This administration literally lies about everything. They've given the people no reason to trust anything that they say. They lie about everything. I mean, Trump is still lying about the 2020 election, saying it was stolen 6 years later. He lied about all the dangerous, criminal, illegal immigrants, even though like 90% of the people that they've either deported or apprehended and put in ICE detention, zero criminal record whatsoever. He lies about his poll numbers. He said, "I'm doing so great right now." He's in the toilet. I mean, like, there are polls coming out now that have him in the mid to low 30s. He lies about the economy, even though when the data comes out, it says that the economy is losing jobs. He lied about the war in Iran, saying, we had to go in because they had nukes, even though they didn't have nukes. And he's lying about how well that's going. He lied about the Butler, Pennsylvania shooting. Okay, I mean, like, nothing about that official story makes sense. It's like, you really expect people to believe that the Secret Service allowed an active shooter to climb onto a roof, even though rally goers, I mean, there's video of this, rally goers are saying, "Hey, look, there's a guy climbing on the roof."
Yeah, look, there he is. Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. It's much tougher than it happens.
And they allowed this guy to get within the one roof that's close enough to, make a shot on Trump and squeeze off however many rounds, kill, the local firefighter, hit Trump in the ear, right? And then, after the fact, he gets to do his whole, he gets to do his photo op, and there's no hospital record. There's no report from the hospital of him being there or what happened. There's no scar on his ear whatsoever. And, a couple days later, everybody shows up at the RNC with a frickin' maxi pad taped to the side of their head. And they're like, "Trump's a hero because he survived assassination." And the other weird thing about that one is, this is a guy, like I said, who's still talking about the 2020 election. He holds decades-long grudges. And he never brings up the assassination attempt in Butler. That's odd, right? But to get back to this one. Okay, so this happens, and this guy gets taken down by the Secret Service, and, he's tackled to the ground. And as soon as it happens, like less than a couple of hours later, Trump gets on TV and says this.
I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it.
So he's immediately hawking his ballroom again as a necessity. We have to have it because, if we had it there, this would have never happened. Now, I want everybody to remember that earlier this month, Judge Leon ruled that all above ground construction of this ballroom has to be stopped immediately because it's being done illegally and without congressional approval. And he made sure to actually add into his ruling that, sensationalist claims of national security or whatever do not preclude them from halting construction until there's actual congressional approval on this. And like I said, everybody, not just Trump, everybody is going out there saying, we gotta have this ballroom now, right? That's super weird. This is just a means to an end. I don't know. But all of the right-wing influencers, I'm talking about, you see tweets online, I don't want to see anybody complain about a ballroom ever again. And then you have Ashley Sinclair, who was baby mama number 17 for Elon Musk, say this.
Last week, I told you guys that all of MAGA is paid and they coordinate their messaging in lockstep via group chats. And what do you know? All of these people came to the conclusion that after they saw what happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, their first thought was all independently, Trump needs his ballroom. Statistical likelihood of this happening in a vacuum, if we are to stipulate that these people are not coordinated, the statistical likelihood of this happening, that they all came to the same conclusion, not probable, okay? I think it's also important to note that one of the main group chats in which they coordinate this messaging is literally called Fight, Fight, Fight after the attempt on Trump's life in Butler. Okay, and this has the official Trump War Room, members of the administration, including James Blair, and all your favorite MAGA influencers. And I would log on and show you more of these messages, but I can't log on to Twitter because they're suing me for $75,000.
So guys, here's the thing. There is a right-wing ecosystem that it's all organized. They're all in group chats. They get together, they figure out what their propaganda is going to be, they figure out what their messaging is going to be, and they all go out and attack at the same time and do this thing where it's I wonder how it is that everybody on the right has the exact same idea to say, we need a ballroom now. It's ridiculous, okay? Something else that also kind of drives the conspiracy thing is this call into Fox News that got cut off. And I'm going to play it for you, and then I'm going to react. Here, take a look.
I'll just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me. And, right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened. And then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV. You do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some...
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time.
That's super weird. I mean, she's right about to say something that's really crazy, and then, there goes the feed. What happened? I guess her phone dropped service. This is kind of usual with everybody in the same building using the same cell service. Okay, but why not try and reconnect the call and let her finish? Why is it suddenly cutting out? Right? And then you have the other things that are totally innocent, like this clip of Caroline Leavitt saying, that, this is going to be a barn burner of an event. Here, take this, take a look at this.
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Quote, there are going to be shots fired. No, I actually don't think that this has anything to do with this, but, it, you know, like I said, it just drives the conspiracy brained people, insane. What I do want to end on is that it is mighty convenient that, you know, this event that is supposed to be for the press, right? I mean, like, it's a black tie event where a bunch of rich assholes get together and suck each other off. But at the end of the day, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was going to be giving out awards to people for covering specifically the journalism of exposing all the people in the Epstein files. And Donald Trump was going to be there. Like, you really think Donald Trump wants to sit there and see somebody get an award for exposing him and all of his billionaire buddies as pedophile creeps and disgusting people? You think that, I don't know. But it's supposed to be about journalism. This award was supposed to be given out. That doesn't happen. They immediately go out and they start hawking the ballroom again as like, this is a necessity, right? It's all super, super weird. It's all super weird. So I totally get the conspiracy people saying like, this is a false flag for X, Y, and Z. Now here's the broader point that I want to make. Is anybody surprised that this happened? No, literally nobody is surprised. This will probably be in and out of the news cycle in a couple of days because this is the reality of America right now, which is a really, really sad commentary on our country. That one, shootings, mass shootings, whatever, happen literally every single day. We lead the world in gun violence. We have more guns than people here. And it's not unusual at all to see this kind of news. And now specifically, like, shots fired at the president. How many times is this, right? So you got Butler, you had the guy hiding out in the bushes at the golf course. You've got the kid who went down to Mar-a-Lago with like a gas can and a shotgun. And now you got this guy. So that's 4. Like, it's insane. But also, is it any surprise to anyone with the way that Trump runs this country that people are this freaking desperate and furious? I mean, in this guy's manifesto, which, you know, like I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he talks about how he's like, he can't stand the fact that the country is run by a pedophile and a rapist. And you know, and on top of all of that, you've got an administration that is literally doing everything they can to wreck the lives of normal people. The economy is shot. Gas prices are through the roof. They took away healthcare from what is like 17 million Americans. They give tax cuts to the rich. Like, what do you think is going to happen when this is how you govern? And all the while, they want to spend 1.5 trillion on the next military budget. They want 1.5 trillion. We are spending between $1 and $2 billion a day for a war in Iran that nobody wanted. It was unnecessary. It was offensive. They didn't have nukes. Iran wasn't planning to attack the United States. And then Trump goes on to say this.
We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. It's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection. We have to guard the country. But all these little things, all these little scams that have taken place, you have to let states take care of them.
We don't have money for childcare. We don't have money to help you. We have money to start wars, but we don't have money to help you. And oh, by the way, the most important thing to me is the ballroom, not your healthcare, not your wages, not your well-being. It's the ballroom. It's the Arc de Trump. It's building monuments to myself. It's enriching other billionaires who give him a lot of money, right? Is anybody surprised that this is happening? And also, just, you know, on the note of the press itself, this is a guy who literally at every chance he gets, he attacks the media. Oh, you're fake news. You're scum. You guys are dogs. All you do is lie about me. He says that the media is the enemy of the people, right? So is anyone surprised that this is happening in Donald Trump's America? No. No, nobody is surprised. And I want to end on this point too, because he did an interview immediately after this where he was questioned about the whole, like the manifesto of the shooter, and this is how that went down.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, "Administration officials, they are targets." And he also wrote this: "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and I read the manifesto. He's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that, because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead. Let's finish the interview.
Notice how he immediately attacks her and does not give up. He attacks her for asking a question about what was in that manifesto. And the funny thing is, he gets so defensive, and her reaction is like, "Oh, you think he was like talking about you specifically?" Which means he knows. Like, that's a guilty conscience. He knows. He knows that he is guilty as the day is long. And the other thing too is, like, his relentless attack on the media just goes to show you how much disdain he has for the First Amendment. He doesn't want people talking about this because it's embarrassing to him. It implicates him. And it is a way that, the media is first and foremost supposed to question authority. They're supposed to, investigate things. And he hates that. And so everything about this is fishy, for sure. Am I a conspiracy person? Do I think this was a setup? I don't know. More evidence, time will tell. But I will say this. It is not at all out of the realm of possibility that this administration would do something like that. Because, like I said, they literally lie about absolutely everything. They lied to get us into a war with Iran. They lied in order to invade Venezuela. They bombed how many people in the Caribbean? Fishing boats? They said they recovered some drugs, but the whole thing was always like, these people are drug smugglers and they're trying to take the drugs to the United States. Zero evidence of that. No evidence of that whatsoever. And even if they were drug smugglers, even if they're narco traffickers, narco terrorists, whatever the hell they called them, the punishment for moving drugs on a boat is not instant vaporization by the U.S. military. I mean, what you would do if you cared about stopping drugs getting into the United States is you'd stop the boat, you'd board the boat, you'd arrest the people on board, you'd seize the contraband, you'd bring them into trial, and then as part of a plea bargain to lessen their sentence, you'd say, where are the drugs coming from? That's what would make sense if you actually cared about drugs. But they don't care about drugs. They don't. They just care about doing this imperialist, offensive invasion of all these countries that Trump wants to, wants to run. Like, he views himself as like, I'm going to run Venezuela. He's talking about that with Cuba right now. And again, I haven't done anywhere near enough to talk about what's going on in Cuba with this blockade, where they're literally stopping oil shipments to an island country that, like, pretty much completely relies on oil for their energy. 11 million people just out of power just because Trump decides he's going to do a blockade because he doesn't like the government. It's ridiculous. I could go on and on for days, but I will end on this. It is not at all crazy to think that this was set up, because this administration lies about everything. And so What reason do we have to trust them? Anyway, I think, I'll end it on a funny note because there's a lot of really great clips that were going around during the time when this shooting was happening. And at the end of the day, somebody the other day said, "Hey, left of lunacy, that is an acronym, is LOL." So let's have some laughs. Here is a picture of Stephen Miller with his wife, Katie Miller, who was pregnant with their 4th child. Jesus Christ. And I'm so sad that those people are repopulating the earth. But you can see here, of course, he's hiding behind his wife as he's getting, out of the room. And he's grabbing her boob because why not? And then you got this freaking guy hiding behind the table in the corner. What is that? Oh, man. We also have footage of Donald Trump falling over, trying to get escorted out. And he's already said, he was like, "No, I didn't fall over. They told me to get down." Like, okay, yeah, sure. Right. So here's the video, plain as day, him falling over as he's getting out of his chair. Fell right on his fat ass. I mean, whatever. Also, this one was super funny. You got RFK Jr. going out and his wife, I'm blanking on her name. Nobody's covering her. She's just like, "Please let me keep up. Look at this." An administration full of cowards. Hiding behind women, or not even taking their women, like RFK Jr., what are you doing? And then this last one, just for the lulz, because, this is the sad state of this country.
God bless America! USA! USA! USA!
Now, according to reporting, that idiot is Dan Scavino, who is, part of Trump's cabinet and was an advisor. Is it at all surprising that we're like chanting while there's like an active shooter situation? Yeah, USA, this is what we're about. You could hear a freaking mouse fart in that room of however many couple thousand people there were there when this was happening, and he's like one of 2 people chanting this. Absolutely disgusting. But there you have it. So that was the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. I guess I'll update more as we have more information, but we'll just leave it at super weird. Again, doesn't really make too much sense, but also, at the end of the day, we have to laugh at the people who are running this country because they're a bunch of idiots and cowards, and and the footage and the photos prove it. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far, I know it was a long one. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed, click the bell as well. That way YouTube will notify you the next time I upload another one, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.